Hi there, everyone. This is modulistack, and we have a Zerg versus Zerg here. This is from my instructional Reddit series. We have GoodGame here in the lower left as the red Zerg. That is an excellent name because even if you forget to say GoodGame or you rage quit, people will still think you meant to say good game. So, good name there. SmutnaRzeka. SmutnaRzeka is the blue Zerg in the upper right. So this is a Zerg versus Zerg, and this is Blistering Sands, and these are a couple of diamond-level players. Now, what should we expect to see on this map? Well, I tend to expect the unexpected on this map. I have heard pretty strong arguments that you cannot go speed Zerglings on this map. You need to go Roach because of the back rocks. And I have heard equally strong arguments that you absolutely cannot go Roach. You must go Speedlings, and the reason is the same, because of the back rocks. So I'm going to try to not be too judgmental in that regard and leave it to the people who like their StarCraft theory to figure out which one is the true best option. And we'll just see what these two players decide to go, and I will not judge them for whatever general choices they make. Everything is looking crisp and clean up to this point. Players who are below diamond or maybe platinum should learn from this kind of game. Say, wow, look at that. They are making every drone at exactly the right time, and they made their overload on time. We see a little deviation here now. GoodGame has gone for a gas before pool. It looks like a 15-14. On the other hand, SmutnaRzeka has gone for hatch first. Now, I am a squeamish person, and I could not go hatchery first against a Zerg. It feels wrong to me because it will pretty much die to a 6 pool. There's pretty much nothing you can do. There have been some weird cases of people like Fruit Dealer managing to pull out, or maybe it was Nest T who got 6 pooled in the GSL and managed to survive with a 12 hatch. Kind of insane. But anyway, the point is, it's not my style, but as long as you understand that you are taking a risk, that you are going to have your hands full if he's going for a really early pool, as long as you understand that, hatch first, completely great in this matchup, and he's followed up with a pool and a gas. I'm even going to go back to see the timing of that pool and gas, because it's good for me to tell what are the players thinking, what is their idea. Ooh, SmutnaRzeka going for the gas before pool. So hatch and then gas and then pool. Now, keep in mind he has not scouted his opponent, but if he were to do so, he would know that his opponent is going for very fast gas and very fast pool. He does get the extra minerals from not having the drone scouting, although for some reason, I don't like at all the fact that SmutnaRzeka has had this drone off picking at his opponent's drone. Really unnecessary. If you're not going to scout, fine, don't scout. Scout with your overlords. Overlords are great scouts. But don't waste that extra mining from that one drone, because you can get a little bit of an advantage with those extra minerals. Get everything out just a touch earlier. Can end up being a big deal, especially in a mirror matchup where both players are starting out on completely equal footing. Queens on the way for both players. We see the much earlier queen of our red player because of the much earlier pool. On the other hand, ton of Zerglings, 8 Zerglings coming out for SmutnaRzeka. I'm just going to call him the blue Zerg because I'm SmutnaRzeka. I'm not too confident in the pronunciation of that name. Only one fellow on gas, so I guess he got enough for Zergling speed and then has gone to one person on gas, and that is a fair idea because it means he's going to be able to get a faster second queen, for example, and more Zerglings and get his economy running. But no, he's going to go for a Roach Warren. On the other hand, from our red player, Baneling Nest, and I do like that choice. If you know your opponent's gas is slow, Baneling Nest can be a very great idea because you are going to take advantage of the fact that they're going to have mostly Zerglings early on. And look, already Banelings coming out, and Roach Warren not even quite done. So Banelings, it would be maybe nicer to see some Banelings morphing outside of the expansion. Since our red player is not expanding himself, he's pretty much dedicated to trying to smash down this natural expansion of our blue player at some point in the reasonably near future. So those Banelings might as well be morphed in a more aggressive position. As it is, they have to walk, huffing and puffing all the way over, and that's going to give time for these spine crawlers to make progress. Roaches are on the way. This spine crawler is probably going to go down. He's going to have to cancel this, and he should cancel it. You should cancel the... I don't think he canceled that. So yeah, cancel things. These roaches did come out in time to stop this these couple of banelings. I think they did kill one baneling. Anyway, they've killed the other baneling now. And does he miss? Oh my god, misses the cancel on that crawler too. That's a big deal. And getting these roaches surrounded. So really big blunder by our blue player there. You need to play much more calmly with roaches. You need to push out slowly. You need to make sure you cannot be surrounded. Speed Zerglings are garbage against roaches unless they can get us around, and then they become absolutely murderous. And this is looking really bad for our blue player. Red, of course, speed has finished for blue, but as you can see, he's just losing so many units. Looking at the units lost tab, he's just lost so much, and he's never managed to really take advantage of this hatchery, which might even go down. I mean, that would certainly spell the end of the game, but as it is, if he cannot take advantage of this hatchery, the game is completely over, because that is the only thing that he has in his favor compared to GoodGame. If he gets a few more roaches out, he may be able to secure this position and stabilize and drone up. But at this point, he can't afford all of his production. Because he's 6 larvae at this base, and he certainly is not going to be able to spend all of them. I would consider getting a creep tumor, actually, with this queen, given how low his resources are right now. Oh my god, that is dangerous. Loses a ton of Zerglings to 1 baneling. Still 3 banelings left, and he's not gotten any spine crawlers up here. Oh, so it's going to be a disaster. These banelings walking in to try to find some drones to pick off. Not going to find any, because there are no drones at this expansion. Going to try to do some more damage to the hatchery. Oh, I don't like this target firing. If you're sure you can kill something, target firing can be a reasonable choice, but if you are not, then, well, you're just losing units, and it's not clear what advantage he got from doing a little more damage to this hatchery right now. But now he has cleared out the expansion. He's going to be able to take this down, and he should run away rather than fighting these broodlings, because they will be dead soon anyway. In the meantime, no transitions whatsoever for GoodGame. No transitions whatsoever for our blue player, except for the second extractor, but fairly meaningless at this point. GoodGame does surround and pick off the queen, and these Zerglings are going to go to town. So what went wrong here for our blue player? He made a bunch of Zerglings early on, and he might not have needed those Zerglings. It is hard to keep tabs on exactly what your opponent is making, so it's hard to know exactly how many Zerglings you can make, but he did make a solid number early on, and did spend that money on speed. Now, that's okay, except he was planning a transition into roaches, so that transition was slower and bumpier than he would have liked. If he had had those roaches out just a little bit sooner, just like 10 or 15 seconds sooner, he would have been able to defend the front easily defend the front. Those 2 spine crawlers would have gone up, and he would have been able to start getting drones, and he would have been in great shape. But he did invest a lot of resources in going for those Zerglings and that Zergling speed, when those Zerglings ended up not really being that useful to him, and he didn't even have enough out to really target fire banelings and that kind of thing. GoodGame though, still only on 1 base, so this game is not completely over. As a matter of fact, our blue player has been leading in harvesters. I did miss exactly when that transition took place, but he's also leading on his lair timing, because he did go for that second gas. I didn't see when GoodGame got his second gas, but it looks like about the same time, actually, the second gas for both players. GoodGame, rightly going after these rocks. Blue player is doing a good job positioning roaches to shoot Zerglings that try to come over here. And this wall in, it's pretty good, except the funny thing is it can actually be baneling busted. Now, are there any banelings out for our red player? No banelings out at the moment, so I cannot check their damage and exactly how many banelings it takes to break a roach wall. But the thing is, nothing in the base of the blue player. This spine crawler is kind of irrelevantly placed, so any speedlings that got in could just rush up and kill the whole drone line. So yeah, really dangerous position, although great move in this position is going for that Spire, because Spire is, well, harassment is just a great way to get back into a game where you may have an inferior position. You put the burden on the opponent to hold on to their lead, and just a few small slip-ups on their part can bring you back into the game. So I definitely like going for Mutalisks. It also could take your opponent off guard. But of course well, let's see. He's going for a Roach Warren now and an Evolution Chamber. So doing a transition that kind of makes sense, namely getting up to 2 bases. Although, do I like his drone saturation? No. Well, he's making more making more drones though. Continuing to drone up. Jeez, lot of gas for GoodGame. I'm not exactly certain why he teched up to Lair so quickly. I mean, and got the second gas so quickly. Didn't make a lot of sense. Good contaminations going down on here. Always good to be annoying as possible with that Overseer. I guess the phrase is as annoying as possible. Mutalisks are out. I believe I missed some kind of action over here, but I think we can kind of see what happened, namely few if any drones were lost, and this Spire was almost but not entirely killed. I would really like to see better positioning on these Spine Crawlers. He does know he's up against Speed Zerglings, although there is this transition into Roaches, which will be, well, it'll be tough without Spine Crawlers at the front. It will be tough, and he should actually be moving these Spine Crawlers right now. I mean, he should have been moving these a few seconds ago. He should have been moving them to position right here. Of course, there is still the back to worry about. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. This is where it gets a little bit questionable what you should do in this map. You see, these Roaches are just going to walk in and take these hits from the Mutalisks. Blue player needs to be a lot better with keeping control of those Mutalisks. See, these Spine Crawlers are repositioning, but they're going to take a while to do that. Spire does get taken down, and they actually can't hit the mineral line. So, this is still very poorly defended. I mean, just one Spine Crawler tucked into the mineral line would have done a much better job than these 3 sort of just thrown off to the side, not really defending anything. Blue player should be running his drones. That is a huge problem. When your drones are just taking damage and you have a second base, just send them to your second base. At the very least, you delay the damage. And usually maintaining your drone count is more important than your short-term income. Picking off an Overlord with these Mutalisks, going to be able to pick off this other Overlord with his Mutalisks. And, yeah, blue player starting to pull into this game. Okay, well, let's see. Although, red has done an excellent, excellent job droning. He's gotten a couple of Spore Crawlers and 5 queens and 2 Spore Crawlers at each base. This, I can safely say, isn't... and Hydralisks. Oh, my God. So this is a classic overreaction. He's just basically gotten every single anti-air option that is available to Zerg in excess. I mean, honestly, 5 queens is enough to hold off quite a large number of Mutalisks if you're controlling well. And, of course, as you can see, the GoodGame is not particularly controlling well. Sitting there and letting the opponent Zerg murder one of his Overlords right in front of him. And these Hydralisks caught out of position. Oh, my God. Never fight straight Roach with straight Hydra. Do not do this. Oh, God. It's so hard to watch. Yeah, so that happens. Hydras have no hit points. So, yes, that's actually... The number of hit points that Hydras have is actually exactly 0. GoodGame's Roaches are out here. See, these queens and just a couple of Hydras are doing a great job fighting these off. These Spore Crawlers are, not even necessary. If you're going to do this, just stick 1 in the mineral line. That's enough to deter or at least delay even a pretty large number of Mutalisks for a while. And these things are expensive. I should point out, though, GoodGame can afford it because his economy has been screaming ahead of his opponent SmutnaRzeka, who has gotten this expansion up but has not taken advantage